Every Good Girl by Judy Astley, read by Phyllida Nash. Chapter 1. Worm tablet. Don't forget the worm tablet. Monica Dyson, of meddlesome habit, stood at the kitchen doorway watching, ready to pounce with advice and criticism, as her son decanted cat food from tin to bowl. One hand rested on the door handle for support, but the other, the one with all the silver bracelets, flicked and fluttered, as if she was miming what her son's action should be. Her tongue clicked little noises of impatience, and she clung to the door handle to stop herself flying across the room and wresting the fork from his awkward, too big fingers, to dice the cat supper herself. He was just mashing it about uselessly, in that hopeless way boys did, pulping it to a sodden thick mass, instead of slicing it neatly, criss-crossed to bite-sized shards the way she would have done it. Boys needed to be given jobs to do around the house. It made them feel important. Monica believed that men who weren't allowed to feel important made trouble for everyone, just to get themselves noticed. Her son-in-law, for one. They had it in their hormones, something prehistoric about being allowed to think they were in charge of things. Any little thing would do, she'd come to realize over the years. Just carrying a moderately heavy bag or being thanked for sweeping up a few leaves from the path. There wasn't a woman born who really couldn't change a plug. And cut it small, otherwise she leaves half of it. Her teeth aren't what they were. Whose are? She thought to herself. Monica's son, Graham, smiled down at the grey-striped cat which purred and narrowed its sly orange eyes at him. He ignored his mother and concentrated on what he was doing. If he took his eyes off the cat, she'd headbutt the bowl out of his hand and onto the black and white tiled floor, and that would mean mess and trouble. He'd remembered the worm tablet, crushed and mixed in. He'd forked the food into a manageable mush, and he knew there wouldn't be anything left in just 10 minutes. The food was the cat's favourite, a foul-smelling mackerel mixture. "It's all done, Mother. I did remember," he told Monica patiently. He put the dish on the kitchen floor, and the cat immediately started gobbling greedily at the food, still purring. She didn't care how neatly it was presented. She'd have wolfed it down straight from the tin like a greedy teenager home from a late night, foraging in a cupboard for spaghetti hoops. "You'll choke," he warned it, stroking the animal's ears. "Don't fuss her while she's eating," Monica scolded, reaching forward and smacking his wrist away from the cat. "She'll only follow you for more attention and leave it all. She's got to get that tablet down. You'd know why, if you'd seen what I saw in her litter tray this morning." Graham scowled, but obediently left the cat to eat in peace, grumpily throwing the empty tin at the kitchen bin and missing. Flecks of processed mackerel scattered over the floor tiles, and Monica gave an exaggerated gasp. "Ah! You are such a clumsy boy. Now look what you've done. Go and get a cloth. Go on and clear it up." Graham crouched at the under-sink cupboard, rooting through for a J-cloth and the flash. He could hear his mother muttering furiously to herself as she went back to the TV in the sitting room. The sofa squeaked as she sat down heavily. "Hopeless boy," he heard her say. He smiled sadly to himself as he carefully swabbed down the floor. The boy was 39. The model's smile was sheer come-and-get-it, unsuitably so from among the virginal wisps of a white wedding veil. Barely deigning to touch the arm of her groom, as if to emphasize his lowly status as mere scenery, she strolled languidly along the shopping mall catwalk, avoiding the meeting of eyes, the unprofessional temptation to be distracted from what she was doing. The simple dress clung to the full length of her body, with a curved split from ankle to thigh, from which glimpses of one slim pale leg could be seen. It was the kind of dress that made it clear what marriage was really for. Behind her...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?